So, our topic for today is all about solving quadratic equations by factoring. In solving quadratic equations by factoring, we need to follow steps or rules. Okay? Zero property. If quantity of x plus 3 and the quantity of x plus 1 is equal to 0, then x plus 3 is equal to 0 and x plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, if the product of two real number is 0, then either of the two is equal to 0 or both number are equal to 0. Okay, transform the equation into the standard form. When we encounter a given, the first thing we do is to transform the equation into the standard form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. Next, factor the expression at the left side of the equation. After factoring, apply the zero product property. Then, solve for the resulting equation. After we get the resulting equation, we need to change the variables into the value we got for the checking or for evaluating if we get the right answer. So, we have here example. Let's try the first example. X squared plus 9x is equal to negative 18. So, it says here that let's equate it into 0 as we need to follow the standard form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. With the additive inverse, it will be x squared 9x plus 8 is equal to 0. Next, we need to factor the equation. Okay. What are the two numbers na when you multiply, it will equal to 8, and when you add, it will equal to 9. So, it will be x plus 8 and x plus 9. 1. Okay, x plus 8 and x plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. Next, equate each term into 0. So, x plus 8 is equal to 0 and x plus 1 is equal to 0. With an additive inverse, x is equal to negative 8 and x is equal to negative 1. So now, we have here the two value of x, negative 8 and negative 1. To know if we get the right value, all we have to do is to be back with this form and substitute variables to this two value. First, let's use the negative 8. X squared plus 9x is equal to negative 8. So we will use this negative 8. So negative 8 squared plus 9 times negative 8 is equal to negative 8. So the square root of the 8 squared is 64. Negative times negative, positive 64. Then 9 times 8, 72. Since positive 9 and negative 8, it will be negative is equal to negative 8. Okay. 64 minus 72, it will be negative 8. Okay. Negative 8 is equal to negative 8. So, x is equal to negative 8 is correct. Okay, next, we'll use the value of x as negative 1. So, negative 1 squared plus 9 times negative 1 is equal to negative 8. Okay? Negative 1 squared is positive 1. As 1 times 1 is 1 and negative times negative is positive. Okay? 9 times negative 1 is negative 9 equals negative 8. Okay? 1 minus 9 is negative 8 is equal to negative 8. So, therefore, our x value is negative 8 and negative 1. So, that's how we do the quadratic equation by factoring. Let's have another example. So, we have here t squared plus 8t plus 16 is equal to 0. Okay? Transform into standard form. So, since it's already standard form, all we have to do is to factor this out. So, what is the two number that when you multiply, it will equal to 16, and when you add, it will equal to 8, because it has 16 and 8. So, we have 4. T plus 4, t plus 4 is equal to 0. So, we have t plus 4 and t plus 4 is equal to 0 to equate each term into 0. Plus 4 is equal to 0 and t plus 4 is equal to 0. So, with an additive inverse, t is equal to negative 4. And other one, t is equal to negative 4. So, since they are perfect square trinomial, are given as a perfect square trinomial, as you can observe, we have the same value of t. So, we have this. Let's change the variable with its value. For the checking, let's do the checking. So, t squared plus 8t plus 16 is equal to 0. Okay. Since our value of t is the same, we can do only one checking for this. So, negative 4 squared plus 8 times negative 4 plus 16 is equal to 0. So, 4 squared is 16 and negative times negative is positive. So, it will be positive 16. 8 times 4 is negative 32 plus 16 is equal to 0. 16 minus negative 32 plus 16, it will be 0. So, 0 is equal to 0. So, we have here the third and the last example. X squared plus 7x is equal to 0. So, as we can see, the value of our c is 0. So, we only have the a and the b and we don't have the c. So, to do that, we need to factor. Since it was already equate to 0, we need to factor this out. So, what is the factor of the x squared plus 7x? So, it would be quantity of x, and x plus 7 is equal to 0. Okay, equate each term into 0. X is equal to 0 and x plus 7 is equal to 0. Then find their value. So we already have the value of x. This 1, and x is equal to, with the additive inverse, it will be -7. So our value is, the value of our x is 0 and -7. So for the checking, we will use first the 0. Okay, so x squared plus 7x is equal to 0. Then 0 plus 7 times 0 is equal to 0. Okay, so 0 to the power of 2, it will be 0. 7 times 0 is 0. So it's correct, it's true. Then the other value of x is -7. -7 squared plus 7 times -7 is equal to 0. So 7 squared is 49. Minus 7 times 7 again is 49 equals 0. 49 minus 49 is 0. So therefore, and x squared plus 7x is equal to 0. The value of x are 0 and -7. I hope you have learned about quadratic equation by factoring. That's all.